Macbeth, one of Shakespeare's greatest tragedies, tells the story of a Scottish general, Macbeth, whose unchecked ambition leads him to murder, tyranny, and ultimately his own demise. The play explores themes of ambition, fate, guilt, and the corrupting influence of power. Key themes: ambition and power. Macbeth's unbridled ambition leads him to murder and tyranny, but ultimately causes his downfall. Fate versus free will. The witches' prophecies set Macbeth on his path, but it is his own choices that bring about his demise. Guilt and madness. Both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are consumed by guilt, leading to their psychological breakdowns. The supernatural, the witches, apparitions, and Banquo's ghost emphasize the influence of the supernatural in Macbeth's fate. Violence and tyranny. Macbeth's reign becomes increasingly violent as he kills to protect his power. Characters: Macbeth, the protagonist, a Scottish general whose ambition drives him to murder King Duncan and seize the throne, leading to his eventual downfall. Lady Macbeth, Macbeth's wife, whose ambition and manipulation push Macbeth toward murder, but later succumbs to guilt and madness. Duncan, the King of Scotland, a virtuous ruler who is murdered by Macbeth. Malcolm, Duncan's elder son and rightful heir to the throne. He leads the charge to overthrow Macbeth. Donalbain, Duncan's younger son, who flees Scotland after his father's murder. Banquo, Macbeth's close friend and fellow general, whose descendants, according to prophecy, will inherit the Scottish throne. Fleance, Banquo's son, who escapes assassination. Macduff, a Scottish nobleman loyal to Duncan and later Malcolm. He ultimately kills Macbeth. Lady Macduff, Macduff's wife, murdered along with her children on Macbeth's orders. The three witches, weird sisters, supernatural beings who prophesize Macbeth's rise and fall, stirring his ambition. Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, who oversees the witches' interactions with Macbeth. Lennox, Ross, Angus, and other Scottish nobles. Various lords who switch allegiances from Macbeth as he grows more tyrannical. Satan, Macbeth's chief servant, loyal to him in his final days. Siward, an English nobleman who aids Malcolm in the battle against Macbeth. Young Siward, Siward's son, killed by Macbeth in the final battle. The rise of Macbeth's ambition, the witches' prophecy. The play begins with thunder and lightning on a bleak heath as three witches gather. They plan to meet with Macbeth after the battle. This opening scene sets the mood for the entire play, evoking a sense of impending doom. First witch: when shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? Second witch: when the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won. Meanwhile, King Duncan receives news that Macbeth and Banquo have successfully defeated the invading Norwegian forces. Impressed by Macbeth's valor, Duncan rewards him with the title Thane of Cawdor, unaware that the current Thane has been executed for treason. As Macbeth and Banquo return from battle, they encounter the three witches. The witches greet Macbeth with the following prophecy: all witches, all hail. Macbeth, hail to thee. Thane of Glamis, all hail.
Macbeth,
Hail to thee. Thane of Cawdor, all hail. Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter. Stunned, Macbeth is intrigued by the witch's prophecy, while Banquo is told that his descendants will be kings, though he himself will not. Macbeth, if chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir. Upon receiving news that he has been made Thane of Cawdor, confirming part of the witch's prophecy, Macbeth begins to contemplate the possibility of becoming king. Lady Macbeth, learning of the prophecy through a letter, immediately sets her sights on the throne for her husband. She worries that Macbeth is too weak to do what is necessary to seize power and calls on supernatural forces to unsex her and fill her with cruelty. Lady Macbeth, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under't. She persuades Macbeth to murder Duncan when he visits their castle, mocking his hesitation and questioning his masculinity. Lady Macbeth, when you durst do it, then you were a man. Macbeth agrees to proceed with the murder and the weight of guilt. Late at night, Macbeth wrestles with his conscience. He imagines seeing a dagger leading him toward Duncan's chamber. Macbeth, is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand. Despite his doubts, Macbeth follows through with the murder of Duncan. Shaken by the act, he returns to Lady Macbeth, his hands covered in blood and carrying the daggers he used to kill the king. Horrified by his inability to plant the daggers on the guards, Lady Macbeth scolds him for his weakness and takes the daggers to frame the guards herself. Lady Macbeth. A little water clears us of this deed. The next morning, Duncan's murder is discovered and chaos erupts. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, flee for their lives, fearing they will be next. Their flight raises suspicion that they are involved in their father's murder, allowing Macbeth to ascend to the throne. A kingdom in fear, Macbeth's tyranny, now King of Scotland, Macbeth is haunted by the witch's prophecy that Banquo's descendants will inherit the throne. Fearing that Banquo is a threat to his power, Macbeth hires murderers to kill Banquo and his son. Although Banquo is killed, Fleance escapes, leaving the prophecy still hanging over Macbeth. During a banquet, Macbeth is tormented by the ghost of Banquo, visible only to him. He becomes unhinged in front of his guests, shouting at the apparition, "Macbeth, thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me." Lady Macbeth tries to dismiss his behavior, claiming he is suffering from a momentary fit. However, Macbeth's growing paranoia and guilt begin to unravel his sanity. Seeking answers from the supernatural, the prophecies twist Macbeth, troubled by the possibility of losing power, returns to the witches to learn more about his fate. They show him 3 apparitions: an armed head, which warns him to beware of Macduff; a bloody child, which tells him that none of woman born will harm him; a crowned child holding a tree, which says that he will not be defeated until Birnam. Wood comes to Dunsinane Hill. Encouraged by these ambiguous prophecies, Macbeth believes he is invincible. However, he still orders the slaughter of Macduff's family. In England, Macduff learns of the massacre and vows to take revenge on Macbeth. Macduff: "All my pretty ones." "Did you say all?" "Oh, hellkite." "All?" The madness and final battles, the fall of Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, racked with guilt, begins sleepwalking and reliving the horrors of the murders she helped orchestrate. She tries to wash imaginary bloodstains from her hands. Lady Macbeth: "Out, damned spot, out. I say!" Her mental state deteriorates, and she eventually dies, possibly by suicide. Meanwhile, Malcolm's army marches toward Macbeth's stronghold at Dunsinane. To conceal their numbers, Malcolm's men cut down branches from Birnam Wood to use as camouflage, fulfilling the witch's prophecy. As Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane, Macbeth realizes the witch's prophecies are coming true. Macbeth, still believing he cannot be harmed by any man born of a woman, confronts Macduff. However, Macduff reveals that he was born by caesarean section, not born of a woman in the natural way. Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped. In a final duel, Macduff kills Macbeth, and Malcolm is declared King of Scotland, restoring peace to the kingdom. Notable quotes: "Fair is foul, and foul is fair." Is this a dagger which I see before me? A Macbeth. Out. Out. Brief candle! A Macbeth on the fleeting nature of life. Thank you for your listening.